Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about multiple upcoming systems that are going to bring many impacts to the eastern United States. Just a disclaimer, I'm going to be posting another video later today about the severe weather season / tornado season of 2023 because I believe there were some mistakes, big mistakes in that video, so I'll be updating that later today, just a disclaimer. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. So basically, first of all, we have this, also, sorry for any background noise. Anyway, we start with the severe weather day 5, 15%, for Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Jackson, Butte-Mont, and Lake Charles. Now, off the top of this region, mainly threats usually are hail, tornadoes, and damaging winds, so all three threats. But in this system, it seems more of a damaging wind and hail threat just off the top, but there is a good chance for some tornadoes. And if we look here, we see most recent guidance is in better agreement with the evolution of this system as it continues northeastward across the mid-Mississippi and Ohio valleys on day 6 Thursday. And then thunderstorms will be possible past this. With marginal thermodynamics, though, it should limit the overall severe potential. But then again, there could be a strong upper trough that's forecast to move across the western CONUS on day 7 and to the plains on day 8, which could give some severe weather potential across parts of the Gulf Coast. Well, it's too early to say what certain severe threats, how significant, and where the worst severe weather would be for that on the Gulf Coast. It is certain to say that there could be some severe potential with a magnitude we don't know yet. It's a little too far out. But yeah. Then if we look at this, which is the CIPS guidance, we look at day 6, and we do see there is some severe potential. Day 2, there's not anything, and also day 4, there's a 10% to 14%. Sorry about that if you heard that. Anyway, a 10 to 14% risk for parts of Georgia and a little bit of Alabama. And day 6, a much larger 15 to 30% risk. Now, of course, this CIPS, it uses a different rating system. These are not SPC risks. So, for example, a 30% on CIPS is not as big of a risk as, let's say, a 30% from the Storm Prediction Center. And then day 8, threat goes down. But yeah, a good threat for parts of Georgia, the vast majority of Alabama, central and southern Mississippi, into a little bit of Tennessee. And that 10 to 15% is around that from Louisiana all the way up to a very smidge of Indiana, into a little bit of Indiana. For wind, we do see that is definitely the main threat, 15 to 30% risk of wind. So we could definitely see some damaging winds as the main threat, with a little bit of hail and a tornado threat more west in that risk. And for day 4, it is mainly a wind risk, but there's also some hail and tornado, or no tornado risk, but hail and wind. Next we are going to be looking at the CSU guidance. Also, sorry if you just heard my brother. Sorry about that. Anyway, moving on, we're going to skip to day 3 hazards. No, it's not day 3, sorry. Day 3 to 8. And hopefully this will load. Yep. So, day 4, Monday, we see some severe threat across Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Illinois, a little bit of Indiana, etc. And a much smaller threat into Tuesday. Wednesday, we see a larger threat and that slight area, which this does follow SPC risk for the most part, at least. It's a smidge different, but not as much as CIPS. Parts of Texas, like Dallas, Fort Worth, and then Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, into parts of Oklahoma. Then a bigger but smaller risk into the east coast could create a marginal threat. And yeah, not much to see there. But if we go back, let's just go here. Excessive rainfall. This is a little off topic on the video, but today we do have still that ongoing California atmospheric river. And then it's still loading past that. So there is a flooding threat for the multiple systems, which we'll get into in a second, but I cannot show it on CSU. But if we go to excessive rain, again, California flooding, And it seems to Arizona and New Mexico there too. But day 4, nothing. At least below, slight risk, 15%. But day 5, we see that one of these systems, and by the way, this video covers multiple systems. The upcoming system, day 5, we do see a large area, slight risk, for Louisiana, parts of Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. But they're not a moderate risk, so it's not as big as like California, per se, which they did have some moderate risk there. And there is also a slight risk for ice coming up, not really related to the system. And the heavy snow parameters at the top do not go very far out, but we can go to winter WX. And we do see for day 5 that there could be some snow potential across the Midwest and Central Plains. And finally, we're going to move on to the models, which is, of course, the longest part of the video. We're going to start with the GFS model, where we do see, and also this video is going to be long with the model part, as there's multiple systems to cover. For that reason, there won't be graphics in this video, but there will be in upcoming videos. And again, the next video will be the updated tornado/severe weather season forecast, probably covering all severe weather because tornado is a little too specific. And that might have a graphic or graphics, it might not, we'll see. Anyway, back on topic. We do see that we do have a system here, but it's not much, so we're not going to be covering it. But if we go into the day 4 96-hour range, we do see the system that causes the severe weather and even some heavy snow. So if we go into the southeast region quickly, which we're going to do this, southeast region, we do see that for 96 hours, we do see the system coming into that severe weather area, the 15%. So let's start with dew points, which just dew points related to moisture, which can help enhance thunderstorm activity. We do see that dew points get pretty high, up to the 60s and 50s. That is very good for thunderstorm development. And then due to these dew points getting into Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, and maybe into South Carolina, there could be a marginal severe risk there, like a marginal risk. But we will see how that pans out. And if we look into other parameters, we're going to look into surface-based CAPE here. We do see that there is some CAPE, but there is not a lot, so that it will limit some activity. And if we go, we also see 50 to 60, maybe even 70 knots of bulk shear in the severe weather area, which definitely enhances thunderstorm activity. Gives a thunderstorm something to feed on, one of many parameters. And finally, if we're going to look at the supercell composite, which, if we look here, the supercell composite is not very high, but then GFS is not very good with these things. I'm not looking at NAM or HRRR due to the fact that they are much shorter range models, and I hope I'm not talking too fast. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's go back to precipitation type/rate. And here we're going to go back to regional. Oops. And we are going to go to the Midwest, where we could see some heavy snow by the GFS. And the reason we're not looking at ECMWF, we're not going to be looking at ECMWF for this video for severe weather, due to the fact that some of the severe weather events I'm covering this video are going to go past hour 240, which is only what the ECMWF goes to. And I want to keep this consistent with models, so I don't think I should only show, I should show 2 models for snow and severe weather, but then past a certain point, I only show 1 model, so I want to keep this consistent with models. And that is why this video, disclaimer that some of these systems are far out, might not happen, take it with a grain of salt, but it is something to watch. So that is why, and CMC is not very accurate with these things. It's not really a main model I would consider. So just a disclaimer there, but sorry about that. And again, the system, not much, so we're not going to really focus on it, but we do really heavy snow, we see. GFS shows. Again, this might be pushing it a little, but we see this very high snow rates across northern Illinois, and then these moderate and light snow rates going very far out into Nebraska and Kansas. So, snowfall heavy in some places, but light and moderate snow overall. Snowfall will reach pretty far out, and then that moves on. And if we do see, we go to not severe weather, we are going to go to winter weather. And if we look at total snowfall Kachira, which takes in temperature to account, unlike the 10-to-1 ratio, I believe. So this is more accurate. And the reason we're not going to be looking at photographs in this video is the same time. It's already not long as it is. But I assure you guys, with disclaimers, and I've looked at photographs beforehand. I just want to keep this video shorter. But I have looked at photographs for severe weather beforehand. And I assure you, I'm giving you the most accurate information I can give you. I just want to assure you guys of that in this video. Even though we're not talking about severe weather, we'll continue later in the video. I just want to assure you that for the severe weather part. Anyway, sorry about that. Moving on, we do see up to 8 to 10 inches of snow, even 15 inches of snow shown in Iowa, that southwest Iowa. That might be pushing it a little bit, but yeah. And again, sorry for any long explanations. I believe I am doing better than most of my videos, which is good. Anyway, up to 5 inches of snow in Michigan. So, that will really have to watch for that. We'll really have to watch for that. Widespread snowfall, 15 inches still. That might be a little bit pushing it. But yeah. If we look at snow depths, which is basically, snowfall is like the snow that's falling, but the amount of snow that can be on the ground at one time up to 4 inches. And then we see a lot of snow depth in northern Wisconsin and the upper peninsula, the western part of Michigan. And if we go to total freezing rain, we don't really see that much. So, yeah. Now, if we go back to surface precipitation and type, and we go back to the southeast. And by the way, I believe these explanations have enough time in between them to where they are reasonable. Someone suggested that I explain more, so they might be a good thing. But, yeah, then again, take a lot of this with a grain of salt, as it's kind of far out for a lot of this. We do see a second system that doesn't really have snow with it until the latter part, but it goes into the 23rd, and that could cause some severe weather. If we look at dew points, which again help with some moisture for that, if I can find it, which I'm definitely on the wrong saying, there we go. We do see that dew points get very high up into Alabama and Georgia for the 23rd and beforehand. So at the beginning of the system, it could just be some heavy rain, but those dew points really give something to feed on. Now, there won't be much CAPE, I assume, so that will definitely limit potential. Yeah, definitely limiting potential there, but there is CAPE, which is good for the storms at least. That is the wrong parameter. I meant supercell composite. Definitely not the best supercell composite, but it is something that could help the storms. And if you guys don't know what a hodograph is, it's this. From earlier, I should have explained that to you. That is what a hodograph is. And then again, guys, I know more people try to be professional and keep explanation to a minimum, but someone told me that I should actually explain more to let you guys know what's going on, instead of just telling you like many YouTubers do. So that is why I'm doing this. And also, now we have to go to winter weather. So yeah, I believe I was done with the severe weather part. I just looked at supercell composite, CAPE, dew points in the system. So that's pretty much it there. I now have to go back to precipitation type and rate. Hopefully you guys are watching this. But for the 23rd, oh wow, that snow went way west. Okay, well, let me change my regions. I was not expecting it to go that west. Let's go to the Mid-Atlantic. That east, not that west, that east. We do see a large amount of snow. That is a lot. and it goes up very north. So a large amount of snow, not only in the quantity of snow, but there's just snow over a large area. And I believe it's a little too early to tell the amount of the intensity of the snow. And if we go into the northeast there, we do see, as that system come through, very high amounts of snow. And if we go to the national, we're just going to go to this for a second, and we look at the type of snow, not the type of snow, the amount of snow, or total snowfall Kochira. So there's not that much snow in the area at first, and then we get up to 6 to 10 inches widespread in some places, even 12 to 16 inches. Now, that might be pushing it a little bit, but we will have to see. If we look at the snow depths, which will load up here, we see a lot of snow depths at the moment. We do see how there's not much snow sticking to the ground, but it is something. And if we look at the freezing rain, and it shows a lot of freezing rain in that system. Wow, up to an inch. That is not good, but again, it is pushing it. Basically freezing rain is ice. And that, of course, slippery roads, all that stuff. The snow can do that too. So yeah, I just want to explain that to you guys, which I believe there is a very good amount of time between these explanations to where you guys still know what's going on in the models. And then there's time where I'm not explaining. And the person who suggested it, thank you. I feel better that you guys know what's going on more in this video. So thank you. I forgot to use the name of the person, but thank you very much. I just want to give my sincere thanks to that person, because I try to make the best content for you guys. So if you guys have any suggestions, I greatly appreciate it. And again, sorry about that, but when you guys suggest something, I will follow through. And let's get to 400 subscribers. But yeah, we can't forget about the last part of the video, which is the last system. We do see here the very large system. It looks multicellular. And then this system after it, but that's not much. It doesn't really bring snow or anything. So, and not, I looked at it earlier. It's not very severe potential, so I'm not going to be looking at that. But yeah, we do see here, far out, some severe potential. And if we look at the dew points, which again, I'm at the wrong place. Here we go. We do see here a very high-reaching dew point up into the 60. That's the wrong day. Sorry. They're very close. But even higher dew points into Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and South Carolina of the 60s and 50s. And if we look into severe weather at the supercell composite, we do see up to 10 supercell composite, so it's not as much, but it is still something. And bulk shear, which I actually forgot to look at for the 23rd. I'm pretty sure I looked at it for the Louisiana part, but like, okay, so for Louisiana, up to 60 to 70 knots of bulk shear for the 23rd, up to 90 knots of bulk shear, and for the 25th, up to 50 to 80 knots of bulk shear. And finally, surface-based, so also that bulk shear, again, helps with thunderstorm development. And surface-based CAPE, not as much, but it is still something to watch as the CAPE is there. And finally, for the final part of this video, we do see here the snow coming through into Indiana, Illinois, widespread snowfall. If we look at the snow depths, not much sticking to the ground, the 3 inches, but the snow from the previous system seems to not have stuck around for that. But yeah, we see up to 12 inches of snow, widespread 6 inches plus, so that will be something to watch. And finally, freezing rain. And also, freezing rain sticks to ice, and the total ice parameter is more accurate at closer regions, not the total U.S. That's why I didn't show you for the previous system. But yeah, up to 1 inch of freezing rain. And if we look at ice, which is more specific now, yeah, pretty much same thing, except up to 0.25 to half an inch of ice. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully the explanations were helpful and didn't go off topic too much, because I want you guys to understand what's going on in the video. Any suggestions, please leave down in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And that other video will be coming out later today. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Goodbye.